going on, Jerome? Fittingly is about 3 p.m. Central Time on Monday, the only time zone that matters. We're about 24 hours away from the NFL trade deadline on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central Time. And Minnesota Vikings general manager Kwesi adofo-mensah, he likes to cook, right? And the Vikings are 4-4, certainly going to be buyers at the trade deadline, or should be. And Kwesi, I'm sure, is working the phones, trying to work his magic. And rooster-wise, like, there's some spots, right? Could use another playmaker. Could use some offensive line depth. Could use some D-line help. Corner, certainly. Safety now with Theo Jackson, concussion protocol. Maybe backup quarterback, but probably not. Kevin McConnell's pretty bullish about John Wolford. So I'm sure that Kwesi is making some calls, taking some calls, all that stuff. Plus, Kwesi loves to make deals at the NFL trade deadline. So the 3 years that Kwesi and Kevin McConnell have been in power, they've done a deal every single year. 2022, Hockenson from the Lions in division. Kind of a big deal. Also, I wonder if they make the trade, because remember, Irv Smith got hurt like right before the trade deadline. I wonder if they make that deal. Then 2023, they traded for Josh Dobbs, worked out for a little bit, and they traded Ezra Cleveland to the Jaguars so Dalton Reiser could start. Ezra's actually doing pretty good with the Jaguars. Then last year, Cam Robinson, immediately after the Christian Darrisaw injury. I mean, Robinson fought the good fight. Sort of is what it is, right? So now here are 7. Siete. Trade deadline targets for the Minnesota Vikings. Number 1, Devon Achane. I can't shake it, right? And I know and I understand that it's probably pretty far-fetched, right? But if Miami is truly having a fire sale, which they took a huge loss on the Phillips trade, and they're paying out most of his contract, they could just be clearing the decks. And Achane is 24, speedster, great running back, great receiver. Not so much about pass blocking, but don't even call him like a true blue running back. Just use him as an offensive weapon, both as a runner, both as a receiver, kind of a satellite player. And I like Aaron Jones, but Jonesy is older, plus he constantly gets dinged up. And I think the Achane and Jordan Mason would be a nice 1-2 combination going forward. 3,300 yards from scrimmage in his career, 30-plus touchdowns, and just a big play waiting to happen. All right. Number 2, another guy we talked about, T'Vondre Sweat. Loved him at Texas, hook him, baby. But he is, if Jeffrey Simmons isn't on the market for Tennessee, I mean, T'Vondre Sweat, second-round pick, and also the fact that they've scrubbed the decks several times in terms of ownership. They already fired their head coach. I feel like maybe T'Vondre Sweat doesn't fit into the long-term plan, so come on in, baby. 24, 6'4", 366, 3 career sacks, 26 pressures, but most importantly, 72.8 PFF run defense grade. And the Vikings defensive line, they fought the good fight against the Lions yesterday, but more importantly, having a one-tech in Flores is 3-4, where you can two-gap, you can keep Cashman and Wilson clean, and also you can get a little bit of pass rush as well. It'd be glorious, man. Next up, number 3. Again, another player that we talked about as the trade deadline approaches, Tariq Woolen of the Seahawks. Now he's 26, 6'4", 205, completely rare range, completely rare length as well. Fallen out of favor in Seattle, basically gotten benched, but really good press man skills. And I don't know, the Antonio Cromartie comparisons, both in terms of consistency as well as freakish ability, I think are pretty apt. And the Vikings cornerback room, so Rodgers, Akuta's in concussion protocol, but Rodgers and Murph have been pretty solid this year. Nudie McLaughlin is there, and then they elevated Fabian Moreau, the veteran from the practice squad yesterday. Right, so it definitely could use some help in that secondary. Tariq Woolen would be pretty damn phenomenal being added there. Next up, number 4, JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, the pride of Utah, the pride of the University of Oregon. Go Ducks. He is 22 years young. He's 6'3", 320. I like this one a lot because, Ryan Kelly, they're going to try working him back this week. They haven't opened his 21-day window. We'll see what happens. But, Blake Brandel, I like. Is he the future center? Probably not. Jurgens? And JPJ would be that guy. He's only 22 years old. A new regime, Ziegler and Pete Carroll did not draft him. The Raiders took him in 2024, number 44 overall. They have him playing right guard, which... yeah, but I think that he certainly could and should be the center of the future. Great mobility, great anchor, great leader of men up front. I think JPJ would be a really nice pickup. Next up, number 5. So Minkah. Actually, Minkah being traded back to the Steelers would be the funniest outcome here. But Minkah, he's only 28. but 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, and yes, like this is the only player of the 7 that would have a decent veteran contract, but the Vikings could certainly pick that up. There's no guaranteed money left in his deal, but 21 career picks, solid tackler, great in coverage as well, would be seamless fitting into the back end of the defense with Metellus and Harrison Smith. A lot of veterans just knowing ball and getting after things. I think that Minkah, especially given his versatility, would be really solid for Flores and company. Next up, number 6. Breece Hall. So I just love the idea of Achane, but Breece Hall is obviously your more traditional running back. 24 years young, 5'11", and 197. Former second-round pick from the Iowa State University. His teammates with our guy King Kenny and Wangu back in Ames. Career 4.6 yards per carry. He is a quick, tough, physical runner, sort of a paint by numbers, meat and potatoes running back. And the Jets are sort of bottoming out in year 1 of the Aaron Glenn regime. Do they see Breece Hall as their lead dog going forward? Don't know. I think that if it ain't going to hurt. I think that Breece Hall would have been traded by now. And reportedly they're looking for a third. Oh, for all these trades, like my inkling is that, cap things off at, like you don't want to part with a second, but a third and some change somewhere in there. I feel like that will get most of these deals done, right? And the Vikings do have some extra draft capital because of the comp picks. So that's the market where don't want to give up the second, obviously not giving up a first, but if you can sprinkle in some thirds and some day 3 selections, they could work that out. But Breece, is there a little bit too much crossover between Breece and Jordan Mason? That's fine. Then you got 2 Jordan Masons. Do that up. Lastly, number 7, so Alontae Taylor of the Saints. So Taylor, you could probably say that he's been a draft disappointment so far. Second-round pick in 2022, the pride of Tennessee, going to the Saints. He's 26 years young, 6 foot, 209. He's got inside-outside versatility, is solid in off-man as well as zone, and his versatility certainly could help this Flores defense as well. And, like I said, it's been disappointing with the Saints, and also even going back to the Dennis Allen days, like the Saints defense has been pretty solid, but Alontae Taylor just hasn't stepped up as a second-round pick. But, of course, we know that Kwesi is the patron saint of Mama, I can change him type players. So could make sense in that regard. But that's it. That's at 7 trade deadline targets for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. What are your thoughts? Let us know. Who are your trade deadline targets? Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.